The average fan messes with the idea of ownership. They just want it at an affordable or an accessible rate, right?
In today's video, we're super excited to be breaking things down with Soulection. Soulection is very much at the forefront of how indie labels can leverage Web3 and NFTs. Soulection's been around for over 11 years. They just recently celebrated their 11-year anniversary. And throughout it all, they've been at the forefront of showcasing and shining a light on artists that are bending genres and creating their own sound. So it's only fitting that Soulection is now once again ahead of the curve as it pertains to indie labels breaking into Web3. Joe, what's good, man?
What's good, man?
Chilling. To set the stage, can you just kind of tell us a little bit about what Soulection is and the journey of the founding story?
It's a record label, it's a radio show. We do live shows and events and touring. Yeah, we're just a collective full of creatives, but we mainly emphasize, music is what brought us here. Music is the core central language and it's worldwide, we're international. Came up through the internet, through SoundCloud on Web2 and through Bandcamp, before DSPs, before streaming. Just very DIY, from MySpace music to Facebook, and we kind of just came from the LimeWire days. It's been amazing to be a part of all these different technological eras and to be here today. Soulection is a choice, it's a music taste, it's like a members only club. If you know Soulection, you say, oh, I know about this artist, or I listen to the radio show. It's like a mutual agreement that y'all are both, if you know, you know. And for those who don't know, it's all good. People can always get put on. It's never too late. We have so many new people finding out about Soulection every day. Like this Web3 world, I feel like is a space that's really built for someone like Soulection.
No, I love that. And I could definitely attest to the if you know vibes. I haven't met somebody that fucks with Soulection. It's not a good person, man.
Right.
In a sentence, Soulection Plus is the Web3 arm of the company and culture. So similar to Soulection Supply or the Sound of Tomorrow live events, it's like an extension of the brand, an enhancement of the brand, not necessarily a redirection of the brand. Before I was involved, Soulection Plus originally was kind of contemplated as a deeper level fan monthly subscription service. And fans were really interested in it because it was going to come along with some deeper level utility. But what the Soulection team at the time decided was that it felt a little off to charge for things that they kind of wanted to give to the community for free. Kind of got pushed down for the time because it didn't make sense. And then when Web3 came back into the picture, we saw this as almost like a reclamation of what Soulection Plus could be. It's not gated. It's not something you have to pay to get into. It's simply another extension of the brand, right? And an enhancement of an experience for those who want to play with that side of the web.
So we're doing a free NFT drop with some Soulection tokens. We're doing it through the Polygon network for environmental purposes and also to keep gas fees low. So for those who are new and see articles or see all the noise that's created around it, we wanted to kind of just create a solution for that, right? And creating a free NFT that it's not said what it's gonna be yet, but we have an idea that there's gonna be some sort of community action or involvement, for those who collect this free NFT. So we're gonna leave it open for 1 week. And that'll give us a good gauge of how many people are truly interested. And then we're doing a Soulection mix, which has the ethos coming from Soulection Radio of always putting on the next up artists. There's about 15 plus artists and collaborators that I've included in this Soulection mix. It's gonna be through sound, but most importantly, there hasn't been a royalty split system for music NFTs, and sound is going to be one of the first ones, if not the first one, to roll this out, and it's going to be with Soulection. It's a 1-hour mix, no samples or sample-free royalties on there. Like everything is cleared, all original music, unreleased music, demos, ideas, and it's from all the GOATs and people that have been a part of the Soulection stories. One big one, we're setting all this up for him, is Monte. We're doing the Kolors instrumental. That track went crazy, especially during COVID. Came out through SoundCloud. So it'll be the first record that goes gold within the Soulection catalog, which is crazy.
I'm like the homie that just makes good beats and shit, and like, you know, we just vibe. And, you know.
I mean, so obviously there's like the drop on Sound, where it's kind of a mix by Soulection, taken from the ethos of Soulection Radio. A lot of unreleased projects from a lot of the kind of the OG Soulection family. What do you have involved? What can you tell us about the record or music you have in this mix?
I sent the songs that I think, you know, kind of like represent where I am currently, like sonically. This has definitely like opened my eyes as to like what music can be valued as, and just what anything can be valued as, really. For me, I think it's just a really cool time to where you kind of break away the layers and the walls between you and like the people that listen to you or maybe don't even know you. You kind of just get to be out there in the streets. Like if I was like a painter, like just out on the street just painting stuff, and then like somebody walks by and they're like, yo, that's fire. And like they just drop you some bands or whatever, you know, because like they like it.
One of my favorite tracks on here is by Jayla Darden, an amazing artist and produces all her own music. This one just got this one got that bounce. It's called Too Close. I never heard this track prior, so I'm really grateful that a lot of artists, you know, all featured music that I've never heard before. So it's kind of like a music session.
Can you kind of speak as to like what exactly is Sound for people that might not be as familiar?
So what Sound is we're a music platform, and what we want to do really is solve two problems. First problem is that artists don't get the revenue or see the value for their work. That's something that's like an ongoing thing. You have to get all these streams to make pennies, if not really a penny. You know, it's 0.0033 cents a stream. We want to be able to connect with our collectors. We want to know who they are, where they are, their names. We want the ability to be able to do that, and with streaming, you can't really do that, you know. You can have 1 million streams, and you don't know who streamed. What we're building right now is what I think is going to be revolutionary.
And what excites you about the, Soulection mix being released on Sound?
They've always been inventive. Like, they've always been innovative and setting the tone for how things should go. That's why I'm excited, because this is something new. They're ahead of the curve. You know, they're coming in before a lot of people even know what's going on. So it's really cool to be rolling out this new split feature with them, because they are a collective. They're gonna bring so much innovation, I'll say the word again, like to Sound.
The reason we're here, partially, is because we believe in the technology, right? Like that was like why we were so excited to begin with. Even the concept on the visual side of an artist being able to retain a percentage of ownership onward into resales, that's a concept that almost any fan can get with. You're like, yeah, I like that. The artist gets to keep earning. Okay, well now we've started to get to the why. Another why is that we don't love that currently files exist in a way where my music can get pulled back from me. The average fan messes with the idea of ownership. They just want it at an affordable or an accessible rate, right? All a bit of an experiment right now, and we're hoping that our community gives us the room to experiment and play. Those who want to come play with us in this space, and those who don't, we'll see you at the live shows, and our records will be dropping on DSPs, and we'll create space for you to jump on if you want.
Web3 is now part of the rollout now. Now it's it's not for everybody, but it's a question to raise with every artist that we have. All the releases we have planned for this year, I bring it up to them. Hey, just letting you know, this is an option. If you want to, we can plug you in to this platform, this marketplace if you want. Sit on that. If you don't, let's just focus on Web 2. The fan, which is a word that I've never really liked that word. When I think of a fan, I think of someone that idolizes. And there's nothing wrong with us idolizing or being inspired by somebody or an artist, but we're all human, right? So I feel like it's how can we break bread and how can we connect? How can I make you, who's been supporting, coming out to every show, listening to almost every radio show, no matter when you started listening, just from the time that you started, from that point on, you've been dedicated and you've been putting other people on. And instead of just doing the traditional, you buy my merch, come out to a show or stream my music thousands of times just for me to make a couple dollars on it, right? Mm-hmm. But for our artists to do so, it's how can we make you the collaborator? Yeah. And I just love the transparency of the business. There's never been transparency in the ethos of the music industry for NFTs. And so I just love how the business structure is not only transactional and immediate, but it's transparent. Mm-hmm. And then you get to have a collector become a part of your ecosystem, and then you build utility, right? And so I love all those elements of how it's like we don't need a major, we don't need an investor. The people are the investors, and the people who have poured into us all this time are the people I want to talk to.
I think that Soulection's gonna bring on board a lot of supporters, a lot of collectors, just because of the way that they already are, the way that they move throughout the space, every space.